Hello, ladies. We are back for another segment of the Ambitious Mom Summit, where we're helping you reignite your dreams and monetize your gifts doing the work that you love. So far, we have had some phenomenal mamas that have been sharing their journeys, their stories, what's worked for them as they've been juggling this thing called life, mamahood, entrepreneurship, some of them, traditional careers and everything in between. But the I guess the thing I want you to take away from this is that they're doing it. And I have someone else for you to meet today she is phenomenal also, obviously, because she would not be here. And Charmaine, I absolutely love, doing these segments with you because I know, ladies, you're going to get so much from Charmaine today. So Charmaine, I would love for you to introduce yourself to the women that are watching and listening.
What's up? I'm Char, and I am a mom of two, a wife of one for a long time, almost 20 years. I'm a simple girl, kind of not simple, but I love working with other women to help them reach their desired goal in life while keeping their family and business from fighting, but keeping them cohesive and actually working together. So I love all things sparkly. I have sparkly earrings on today. I love smiling and laughing. And that's about it. Again, I'm simple. I didn't want to do my bio because they can read.
Right. Thank you so much for introducing yourself to the women that are watching and listening. I love it. And I guess that's where our common ground is that we're both simple. I don't ask for much. I don't
ask for much.
Yeah.
I ask for everything, but I don't ask for much.
Yes. Same here. I love it. So, ladies, Charmaine has an important topic to share with you today, and it's something that some of you may be struggling with because you're not too sure how to do this. You're maybe not even considering some things that you could do that can help you accelerate your success. So, Charmaine, I would love for you to start somewhere. I don't know if you want to start with a story, tips, wherever you want to start, because wherever it is, I know it's going to be good. But it's about investing in support systems outside of friends and family in order to accelerate your success. So where would you like to start with this topic today?
I want to start with support doesn't always have to be another person. I think a lot of the times we get stuck in support being a person and not necessarily a system you may have in your home. Or support for me sometimes looks like I order my meals from HelloFresh 4 days out of the week, because trying to think of a grocery menu makes me want to pull my hair out follicle by follicle. So that's support for me. Also, what support for me is being in a space like that, support to being able to open your perspective to see different areas where you need support beyond your family and friends. Because let's be honest, people in your life are busy. They're doing their own things. Like if you have kids, like I have kids, my kids are in 5 million different activities. So although I would love to say, oh yeah, girl, my kids do all the housework, my kids do not, because my son has swim. My daughter has her activities with her community supports worker. My husband works his job, plus he has another stream of income doing computers. Like everybody in my house are busy. I don't want to say busy, but we have full lives. We really do. And it would be unfair of me. I think sometimes as women, we expect, I know for me it was true, I expected for my family to take on, especially my husband, to take on all the crazy mess I was willing to take on. One of the things that annoys me about men is that they really know how to set their boundaries. They know what they can do, what they're good at, what's going to overwhelm them, and they don't schedule anything else. But for some reason, as women, it's like, well, that's just a challenge to do more ish. It's like, oh, let's pile it on until I'm overwhelmed and I'm passing out.
Yeah.
So I've had to learn to act like my husband in certain ways and going, yes, I see the mom on Instagram and Pinterest making these beautiful menus and sitting out and planning, but I don't like it. and you know, I'm all about feeling, high quality feelings, I should say. I don't like making menus. I barely like cooking dinner. But I know the results if I let my family eat out every night, financially and physically. So what can I do to make this easier while still preparing quick, nutritious meals for my family? In chimes in HelloFresh. How can I make it easier for my family to communicate with each other, for my kids to know what they need to do? My kids are older. They all have, everybody in my household has devices. So, you know, and I think most people's kids have a tablet or something, but all of my kids have devices. So we use apps to make sure that everybody's connected, that everybody's calendar is on the same page. And I have had a VA, you know, so these are all different ways to get support. Here's what I will say about support. Bishop Jakes has something that he says, you must be prepared for what you pray for. So when you get support, if everything is chaotic and crazy, you cannot expect to invite external support into your chaos and expect for them to automatically pull it all apart unless you have the coinage for that. That takes extra coinage. If you're just looking for somebody to pick up where you need help with, it's really important that you have a foundation that somebody can come in and pick up where you need them to pick up at. Like we have, my mother calls her a governess. I've had a nanny since my 8-year-old has been a newborn. And I don't share that a lot because in the mom community, having a nanny normally means that there's something you're not doing right. When in fact, she saves my spirit. We make it happen to have her in the house because she works, our daughter is on the spectrum. So she works with her to make sure that she's doing different activities. She works with the 8-year-old with homework. Like she's really our right hand. But what I had to discover, and I'm happy that she is as vocal as she is that me trying to invite her into our chaos and then expecting her to read our minds to know what's going on was not helping her out at all. And it was actually frustrating the entire process. So I had to sit down and come up with systems for the thing so she had a baseline. So if you're going to get support, external support like that, make sure you at least have a baseline of system of what you do. If you're going to get a housekeeper, yeah, they should know how to clean the bathroom, but how do you like your bathroom? Because how they like it may not be how you like it. Then you're mad at the housekeeper because you think your bathroom looks ugly.
Right.
The same thing in working with a coach. What do you want? Where are you trying to go? Sure, they're helping you. A coach is helping you to get there. A therapist is really trying to help you. It's different people. Therapist tries to help you figure out where you want to go. With a coach, you kind of have to have a baseline of where you want to go, or a mentor. Having those baselines, you still have to know, you have to have an idea of where you want to go, or you will end up where you don't want to be. That's what I know for sure. You can jump into programs. I have jumped into programs with a very unclear goal, and I got very, very unclear results that cost me a whole bunch of coin. And then you're frustrated and you're mad at the person that you thought was supposed to be helping you, but they can only help you to the point of where in which you are clear. And there has to be a line of clarity there, and realizing that there are steps to your clarity, and not expecting sometimes to come into a situation and have everything together, being willing and having people on your team that are going to grow with you, that are going to know that, okay, this is where we're starting off at, but we're going to get better. We're going to get better at this. We're going to tweak it out. It's going to flow. And remembering once it starts flowing is when something changes.
Always.
So having support, whatever that looks like for you, this is what I recommend. Take all your life areas, your business, your finances, your family, your marriage, your health and wellness. Take those 5 life areas. On a scale from 1 to 10, where is each area at? Now, the one with the lowest score is the one you're probably going to need the most support in at this time to get it to where you want it to be, or to where it can at least run and support itself. And then start looking for people, places, books, things that can help you navigate this and make this area easier.
Okay.
You know, for me, for us, even for our marriage, going to therapy was great because it was at that time a space that was not where we either one of us wanted to be. And taking that time to go seek counsel so that we could work things out and make it better. Being willing to do that, and then doing the work that the people give you. If even my nanny gives me work, like, hey, this is great, but we need this. We need, like, I have to be consistent in that too. And being consistent with people that are offering support. Even with my VA, a lot of the times, I remember in the beginning, 'cause I've had several VAs, and the first two were because I didn't know what I want. They were frustrated. I was frustrated. Nothing was going like it was supposed to go. And then I was just like, maybe having a VA doesn't work for me. That's not what it was. What it was is that I set these unrealistic expectations on another human being to positively read my mind, to step into my business and figure out what my next steps were.
Yeah.
Crazy, right? And so what I had to realize is that I had to go, okay, what do I want them to do? What is the one thing in this that I absolutely need support with? What does that look like? And it's not saying you have to have a whole employee manual.
Right.
You just need a baseline. If you just create a baseline for all the areas in your life, because you have to look at your home life like you look at your business. One, there's some stuff that you don't want to be doing forever. It's just not making sense. And two, you're not going to be here forever to do it. So making sure that there are systems in place to take care of yourself. And a lot of the times you're already doing systems. You just don't know it because you're doing it all yourself.
Yeah.
The second thing I'll say to that is when you give somebody something, give it to them. Do not hover, don't helicopter, don't nitpick. One of the things my husband taught, he is one of the, my family has been one of the biggest lessons for me. I used to give my husband like things, you know, that I needed for him to do, but I wouldn't leave him alone. I would like ask him probably every 60 to 90 minutes. So when are you going to get this done? When is this going to happen? Like I was kind of expecting it now. And then he would do it. Then I would go behind him and do it the way that I wanted it to be done. And so he just stopped. He says, you know what? I give up. Like there's no way that I can make you happy in this. I'm doing my best. Boom, this is it. And I've had VAs tell me that, like, I don't know. I don't get what you want from me. Like, this is so unclear. And then when I do it, you just go behind me and you read, like, I'm so unclear with that. And so when you give people a task, if you have what I call the 3 C's, make sure that that thing is clear, like you're talking to a 3-year-old. Make what you want for this person to do to assist you to be very clear. You need to be consistent with when you say you're going to give them this task. You need to be consistent when you say you're going to pay them. You need to be consistent with having all of the materials that they need together to get this done. You need to be consistent, because if you're not consistent, then they're not going to be consistent, because they're feeling like, why should I be consistent when she's not consistent? And then it needs to be communicated. You need to talk to this person, especially in the beginning. I would even argue to say maybe twice a week in the beginning, and then flesh it out, and then, you know, go to once a week. But I'm saying if somebody's working with you on an external person, even internal, if somebody is supporting you and working with you, at least once a week, you all need to be sitting down, either it be virtually, face to face, even via text, like, hey, how's this week going? What are the 3 challenges for this week? Okay, this is what's going on for next week. Boom, calendar set, you've got it. And just touching base, even touching the last VA I had, we touched base regularly via text. Okay, what's going on? And she knew she could reach out to me if she had questions on something. Like, she went on to bigger and brighter things, and I'm sad that she's gone, but I'm grateful for her, you know, for what I learned in the process of even working with her. When you work with people externally, sometimes family is a little bit more forgiving, which is kind of why we're not focusing on family and friends. They're a little bit more forgiving. They know you on a different level, so they're able to anticipate certain needs for you. But when you're working with an entity that's external to your bubble, you need to be very clear about what it is that you want and need for them to do. You need to be clear about when it's due. You need to be clear about what it looks like when it's done. You need to be clear about what it looks like if it's not right, and how can that be remedied. You need to be clear about if you turn in something to me and it's not right, what the consequence is. Because, you know, I've had people where I did it. Okay, but this is not what we contracted to do. This is not it. But there was no clear communication on what the consequence was. And making sure that all of that stuff is communicated and that it's clear to you and them. A lot of people don't like having contracts. I love contracts.
Yeah.
Because, and even though you might feel like, oh my God, I've known this person for so long, and like, life moves fast. You forget what you promised somebody. Multiple times with my VA, I would go back to the contract to see how she was supposed to do something, because I had totally forgotten, you know, and I'm like, hey, based on our contract, this is what happens when this happens. This is what, you know, this is the amount of hours. So you're not going to get paid. Like, thank you for working, but based on this, this is not what we agreed to for you to go over. So thank you so much. But I didn't agree to that. I agreed to this. And I know, even with our nanny has been with us for 8 years. We redo contracts every 6 months to a year, depending on what changes are going on in the family, what needs to be done. But we definitely meet every week and go over like what the kids need, what she sees as needs, and listening to that person on your external, because they have an insight, because they're on the outside. They have a different perspective that you don't have, that you really need to be able to appreciate and not go, oh my God, I can't believe they telling me how to run my stuff and run my house and run my business. Like,
that's why you got them.
That's why you got them.
Yeah.
They cannot be exactly like you. There has to be some qualities about them that you can't hire yourself. Like, trust me, don't do that. It might seem like a fabulous idea in the beginning, but what I know for sure is that it will backfire, because all of the stuff, the weak points that you have, then that means they probably have them too. So then the stuff that you really want them to do, they're not able to do that. Or they run into the same, you know, mindset blocks and issues because you're too much on the same frequency, like too much. So that's important too. But looking at those life areas, what are some things that you really, there's a book called Virtual, oh gosh, I'll tell you, but it's supposed to be for virtual assistants. It's like, hold on.
Okay. Ladies, Charmaine always has books to recommend, and I love it that she does this.
Got it. Virtual Freedom by Chris Drucker.
Oh, yeah.
Fabulous book. You can use this for your business. You can use this as a template for your household. You can use this as a template for your whatever. Like, it's a great template to say, what areas do I like doing stuff in? What areas don't I like doing stuff in? And can I outsource it? Can I give it to someone else? True story. So my husband used to be really into doing the grass. Like, that was his thing. Oh my God, nobody else could do the grass but him. And I saw him drowning. Like, literally, his job had changed. He finally got into the position. Of the degree. You know, you go to college and you finally get the job that match your degree. He had finally got that. But this job requires overtime. It requires longer hours. It requires different things. And he would literally come home at like 7 o'clock and try to cut the grass. I'm like, dude, I said, I'm going to hire a landscaper. He goes, oh my God, no, they're not going to cut the grass right. I'm like, that's what they get paid to do, is lawn work. So I hired the landscaper the first year. Like, it was so funny. He was standing outside with them. I'm like, they know what they're doing. That was the first year. Now he's like, so when's the landscaping bill due? Because it freed him up to do more things with the kids, because now he's not out. We're not out doing yard work all day and night. It freed us up to do more things with the kids as a family, as a couple. It it gave us freedom to do other things other than that, which has really no monetary value. There are going to be other things that you do that does have a monetary value. Like my goal is to get a housekeeper. Like really, it's not that I don't know how to keep house. It's just that if I could spend 3 hours working on my business versus doing laundry, cleaning bathrooms, cleaning floors, stuff like that, that would be game changing for me, you know?
Mm-hmm.
The HelloFresh was a game changer, because not only that, and Instacart, not only am I now not making a menu, I am now not going to the grocery store. I am picking up my device, I am ordering what I want, and it comes to my door. And it's worth every bit of the fee that they charge me. It's like $100 a year, and you can get your stuff delivered like all the time.
Yeah.
So worth it. Like some of the things that we're going, oh my God, if I spend an extra $20, it's going to break me. But it's like the 2 hours you spend in the grocery store, finding a parking space, standing in line, making it, like you could be using your energy for other things.
Yes.
And even if it's not building a business, let's say you work from 8:30, well, let's be honest, travel time. So let's say you go to work from like 7:30 to like 5:30. Now you have to go to the grocery store and stand in line again. And you haven't even, I know when I got home from work, the first thing that came off was my bra. I was tired. Let's just get this party over. I want to get all these clothes, this armor off. You haven't even gotten your armor off yet. And don't even talk about if your kids have after school activities. So now you got to stop at the grocery store. You got to get them to their activities. You got finding this extra energy from. So sometimes looking beyond the, oh my gosh, this is going to cost me an extra $20 to $50 a month to do this, and start really weighing the true cost, not just in terms of dollars and cents, but in terms of how long does it take for me to mow my lawn? How long does it take for me to go to the grocery store and make a menu? It used to take me 2 days to make menus because I hated it so much. And it wouldn't even be like, it would be like 2 full days, because I would start and then I would get distracted and do something else. And then my eyes would hurt. Like it was 2 full days of making 2 weeks worth of menus. So if there's something that makes you feel like pulling your hair follicles out, try to find a way to outsource that puppy. Or at least delegate it to someone in your family that has the bandwidth or that's good at it. I let my kids pick their jobs. If you're good at it and you like it, you'll do it, and I won't have to beg you for it. And it just flows a little bit, easier. Find somebody who that's their jam. That's what they do for a living. There's people that love going grocery shopping. Instacart will save your sanity. If you don't like the grocery store, stop going.
Yep, that is me right there.
And even if they don't have Instacart in your area, many of the grocery stores have where you can click and pick. You click on the app, and then you just drive to a little spot and you sit there for about 5 or 10 minutes. They load all the groceries up in your cart, and away you go.
Wow, Charmaine.
So things like that.
Yeah. This is absolutely fantastic. Thank you for sharing like the things that you're investing in outside of friends and family. Ladies, as you have heard, Charmaine's not just talking about business, it's the things that are happening in your household, because at the end of the day, they're not really separated. They are intertwined, right? They're intertwined. And I love that you're sharing like some things that can be taken off of their plate so they can focus that energy on their business or getting the rest or whatever it is. It's just a great way, because the thing is, that's what our money is for, is to invest in things that we value. And a great way for you, especially if you value your time, which we all should be valuing our time, whether it's business or our personal life. That's what that currency is for. And there's plenty of resources. And hopefully Charmaine has opened your eyes to some things that you could start doing right now. I mean, I'm pretty sure groceries and a housekeeper, nannies, I mean, those are all investments that you can make. And yes, some of you might think, well, I don't have the money to invest. Yes, you do. If you really value your time, you're going to find a way. We always find a way.
You don't have to start off with these things full time. A lot of the times people think you have to go full tilt on them. Our nanny started off at working like 3 hours a week before she became, we're like, oh my God, we need you in a bigger capacity before she became full time. The landscaper just started off cutting grass. Now it's like, oh, I want to do the remove the weeds, you know. It doesn't have to be full tilt. Take it in little bites, learn how to work your system and create your system, and then add on. You don't have to start with a full-fledged team.
Yes.
It's a lot of work.
Right. Yeah. And I think that's why so many women who already are in business, I think they assume that that's what you have to do, but no, you can start really small. My first VA years ago, she worked 5 hours a month, right? I mean, it wasn't that much. And what was great about that, it taught me to delegate. It taught me to trust, you know, that she was going to do her work. Of course, I have to make sure she's doing it first. So there's usually a probationary period. So that's why it's good to go ahead and just make a small investment, see if it's worth it, or just stay where you are with that, and then you will see the benefits of it. And then outside of the people, Charmaine, you shared about like apps and tools that you can use. I love the calendar that you and your family have, this calendar, and you make sure that, you know, everybody checks to see what's going on and that they're all in sync with each other. I think that's a great idea. Ladies, Charmaine is like a wealth of information. Like what she shared has just scratching the surface. And Charmaine, I noticed that you were sharing some of your methodology, your framework, which is absolutely incredible with helping. So thank you for that, because ladies, Charmaine has a resource for you, and then also you can connect with her. Like she can help you get to where you want to go, especially if you're looking to make some major changes. So what is the resource that you have for the ladies today?
So the resource I have today is called the Get Your Life Guide. And so it gives you the baseline plan to help you to create a day that works for you, to get your family and business more in sync, and just going through that framework to help you do that. Also, at the end of that guide is like a bonus of some of the resources that I've talked about today. So it's not just stuff for you to do, but it's actually some tools to help you to start building some of those pieces to get there. So I like it. It's really compact, but it's work and it's resources. So it's not just something pretty you can tack up on your wall. It's actually things that are going to make you think, because the quality of your life is based on the quality of questions that you ask yourself. And so I ask women a lot of questions. What do you want your life to look, feel, be like?
Absolutely. So ladies, that's a valuable resource that you can use to actually get things done. Yes, it takes work. I mean, we can't expect things to change if we don't put in the work, right? So thank you so much for that generous resource. Ladies, don't sit on this opportunity. The button to access her resources right below us, her social media links, her website right below us. So please do not sit on this opportunity to make the changes necessary in order to design that incredible life that you dream of for yourself and your family. So Charmaine, before we close out your segment, I have a question for you. What words of wisdom do you have that woman that's definitely inspired by you? She's definitely taken a lot from what you've shared today, but she's still in that state of fear. She's still in that state of, I don't know if I can do this. Is this possible for me? Is this really, really possible for me? What do you want to say to her?
You have the power to change your life. You are capable of that. Everything in your life, you have the power to change. You are empowered and powerful. That's that. I know that sounds kind of corny, but that's
no, that it's not corny, because I think people
forget their power.
Yes.
Sometimes in being a mom, everything feels like it's this external force that's forcing you to do particular things. And you have the power to say no. You have the power to say yes. You have the power to make changes. You just have to figure out what you want that to be. And that's why it's often so difficult for you to make the decisions that you need to make. It's because you're still not sure on what you want that to look like. So take some time and get really clear on what you, if your dream life from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed, how would that look like for you?
Yeah.
And then work on creating that.
And it works. It absolutely works. You just have to put in the work. So ladies, there you have it. Charmaine's segment has been absolutely amazing. Charmaine, thank you for your wisdom, your leadership, your guidance, your love, and co-creating this amazing event, because it would not be the same without you. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.